From Justin Bieber, who has been notably quiet about Diddy despite being mentored by him, to Jay-Z, one of Diddy's closest friends, until the feds came knocking.
Jay-Z ain't answering the phone?
He ain't answering the phone.
Here are 5 celebrities who vanished and seemingly turned their backs on Diddy since his trial began. Ashton Kutcher. Man, ain't no Hollywood friendship been put under the microscope quite like Ashton Kutcher and Diddy's bromance. What used to look like 2 ballers just vibing has turned into a whole conspiracy theory now that Diddy's caught up in the system. Kutcher and Diddy's connection goes way back to the early 2000s when both were running the game. Their friendship kicked off during their MTV days. Kutcher was hosting Punk'd, while Diddy was the big boss on Making the Band. That network connection put them in the same circle, and soon they were getting spotted at all kinds of high-profile functions. The most legendary link-ups happened at Diddy's infamous white parties, which were straight fire in Hollywood. In 2009, things leveled up when Kutcher and Diddy hosted a white party together for charity, raising awareness for malaria no more. That wasn't just for show. They were actually collabing for a cause. Kutcher used to speak on their friendship like it was all good. During a 2018 appearance on The Late Late Show with James Corden, he was reminiscing about the good times with Diddy from back in the day, talking like they were real ones. But check this. During a 2019 episode of Hot Ones, Kutcher called Diddy's parties weird and said he had stories he can't tell. Now everybody's side-eyeing those comments since Diddy caught a case.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, I can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So
despite how it looked on the surface, sources are now trying to play down their connection. According to the word on the street, Kutcher's interactions with Diddy were just basic industry functions, and they weren't as tight as people thought. That's some damage control if I ever seen it. Here's where it gets spicy. Diddy himself once said their Rat Pack days ended when Kutcher started wifing up Demi Moore in the early 2000s. Sounds like Moore might have peeped game and pulled Kutcher away from Diddy's wilder side. In fact, sources say Moore kept Kutcher on a short leash when it came to Diddy's scene. Since Diddy got booked in September 2024, Kutcher has been mad quiet on the whole situation. This silence hits different because Kutcher runs an organization called Thorn that fights against human trafficking, and he's been involved with the Clinton Global Initiative. People on X are calling out this contradiction, wondering why this anti-trafficking advocate isn't speaking on charges against someone he used to call a friend. So why is Kutcher keeping his lips zipped? The streets are talking. First off, it's obvious he's trying to distance himself from the drama. Sources close to Kutcher swear he has no involvement in Diddy's alleged crimes and isn't under federal investigation. Someone told People magazine that Kutcher only dealt with Diddy at public events, nothing deeper. Another source told DailyMail.com that Kutcher regrets his friendship with Diddy and feels betrayed, showing he wants nothing to do with Diddy's mess. Second, word is Kutcher's squad is worried about false accusations. There's talk that Diddy might start snitching on famous friends to catch a lighter sentence. A Daily Mail source claimed Kutcher shook that Diddy would have no problem lying to authorities and tossing out some of his famous friends' names to get a break. X users are saying Kutcher is in panic mode over potentially getting thrown under the bus. Third, Kutcher and his wife, Mila Kunis, are probably trying to protect their bag and their image. They already caught heat for backing Danny Masterson, their former That 70s Show co-star who got convicted of. That backlash plus Diddy's scandal has reportedly got them laying low. Since Diddy's arrest, Kutcher and Kunis have been spotted on family trips, like vacationing in Rome in March 2025 and kicking it in Beverly Hills for New Year's Eve, acting like everything's regular despite the Diddy drama swirling. These public appearances plus their silence suggest they're trying to keep their family looking solid while rumors of divorce and moving out of LA circulate. Kutcher's silence is part of a bigger pattern among Diddy's former celebrity homies, including Will Smith, Justin Bieber, and Leonardo DiCaprio, who've all kept mum. A Hindustan Times report said many A-listers plan to skip town during Diddy's trial to avoid association, showing a collective strategy to duck the fallout. Kutcher's been grinding on his acting career, filming Ryan Murphy's The Beauty in Italy in March 2025, which looks like he's trying to stay booked and busy far away from the controversy. In the court of public opinion, though, Kutcher's silence ain't going unnoticed. Social media, especially X, has been buzzing with theories about what he might know about Diddy's activities. People are questioning how Kutcher, who's supposedly about stopping trafficking, could have been oblivious to what was allegedly going down. Others think he's sweating bullets about Diddy possibly dropping his name, referencing those cryptic Hot Ones comments about party stories he wouldn't share. Some media outlets are defending Kutcher, saying his friendship with Diddy was overhyped. People in TMZ sources claim Kutcher's interactions were just surface level, nothing deep. These conflicting stories show how obsessed the public is with figuring out Kutcher's role in all this, fueled by his silence and his anti-trafficking work. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
Yes,
right?
without a doubt, you are invited.
That is
Leonardo DiCaprio is known for three things: saving the planet, collecting Oscars, and pulling up to the most exclusive parties in Hollywood. Among those elite functions were Sean Diddy Combs' legendary white parties, which were the ultimate flex in celebrity circles during the late 90s and early 2000s. Now that Diddy's facing serious charges, DiCaprio's been moving in silence, and people are asking questions. The connection between DiCaprio and Diddy goes back mad years. In a 2018 Vogue 73 Questions interview, Diddy named DiCaprio as the #1 guest on his white party invitation list, showing Leo was a VIP in Diddy's world. Photos from the 1998 white party in East Hampton and Diddy's 2019 birthday bash show DiCaprio in the cut, looking comfortable among other ballers like Jay-Z and Jennifer Lopez. When Diddy got knocked in September 2024 on allegations connected to his so-called freak-off parties, the rumor mill started working overtime about which celebs might have been involved. An unverified Diddy list started making rounds online with names like DiCaprio, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and others who'd been to his events. While no official allegations have touched DiCaprio, his past presence at Diddy's gatherings has got people talking. The Diddy list became a major topic, with DiCaprio's name appearing alongside other A-listers, even though there's zero evidence connecting any of these individuals to Diddy's alleged crimes. DiCaprio hasn't said a word about Diddy's legal drama or any allegations connecting him to Diddy's parties. Sources close to the actor, quoted in outlets like The Mail and The Mirror, claim he hasn't dealt with Diddy in years and is focused on his career and relationship with model Vittoria Ceretti. A rep reportedly stated, "Leonardo DiCaprio has absolutely nothing to do with any of this," stressing that his attendance at Diddy's parties was limited to public events way back in the day. This silence matches DiCaprio's usual approach to personal drama. Since 2023, he's kept a low profile, focusing on his relationship with Ceretti and professional gigs like promoting One Battle After Another at CinemaCon in April 2025. His 50th birthday bash in November 2024 was notably toned down compared to his wilder parties of the past, showing he's stepping back from the high-profile socializing that once connected him to figures like Diddy. There's also the legal angle. Given how serious Diddy's charges are and the ongoing investigations, DiCaprio's lawyers have probably told him to keep his mouth shut to avoid any statements that could be twisted or subpoenaed. The lack of solid evidence connecting him to Diddy's alleged crimes makes this non-engagement strategy smart. While Diddy's 2018 comment about DiCaprio being a top guest suggests they were somewhat close, the evidence points to a professional and social acquaintance rather than real friendship. Their interactions appear limited to public events, with no proof of private link-ups or regular contact in recent years. The claim that DiCaprio cut ties after the 1998 photo resurfaced suggests deliberate distancing, but sources say they had already drifted apart long before Diddy's 2024 arrest. The perception of closeness might be exaggerated by Diddy's public name-dropping and the media's focus on their party appearances together. As the trial unfolds, DiCaprio seems determined to keep his distance and his silence. Without any solid connection to Diddy's alleged crimes, this approach appears to be working, letting him focus on his career and personal life while the legal system does its thing. Whether DiCaprio will ever address the situation remains to be seen, but for now, his silence speaks volumes about his desire to stay far away from one of Hollywood's most explosive scandals. Jay-Z and Sean Diddy Combs go way back in the game, with a history that spans decades in the music industry. As two of hip-hop's biggest bosses, their relationship symbolized black excellence, entrepreneurship, and mutual support. But now that Diddy's facing federal heat for trafficking and racketeering, Jay-Z's notable silence and apparent distancing have got people talking. Their professional connection dates back to the 90s, when both were coming up in the New York hip-hop scene, Diddy building Bad Boy Records and Jay-Z establishing Rockefeller Records. They collabed on major moves like the Bad Boy / Rockefeller Best of Both Worlds tour in the early 2000s and were fixtures at industry events, from music awards to NBA All-Star games. In a 2016 onstage moment, Diddy called Jay-Z extended family, highlighting their bond and noting Jay-Z's support through his ups and downs. This public display suggested they weren't just industry associates, but genuine friends. The two have been photographed together at countless high-profile functions, including Diddy's legendary white parties and other A-list gatherings. Jay-Z and Beyonce hosted events like their post-Oscars gold parties at Chateau Marmont, where Diddy was often in the mix. Even their kids, Jay-Z's daughter Blue Ivy and Diddy's twin daughters Delilah and Jessie, move in the same elite circles, nearly crossing paths at events like the Rolling Loud Festival in 2025. One of the lawsuits filed in October 2024 by attorney Tony Busby accused both Diddy and Jay-Z of misconduct with a 13-year-old girl at an after-party following the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards. Jay-Z strongly denied these allegations, calling the lawsuit a blackmail attempt and filing a defamation suit against Busby and the plaintiff, Jane Doe. The plaintiff's lawyers dropped the case on February 14, 2025, after inconsistencies in her story emerged, including a recording where she allegedly admitted Jay-Z did not assault her and claimed Busby pressured her to include him in the suit. Another lawsuit filed by Joseph Manzaro in April 2025 claimed he was sexually assaulted at a 2015 freak-off party, initially naming Jay-Z and Beyonce as witnesses. The amended complaint later removed their names after their lawyers proved they weren't even there. These lawsuits, though dismissed or amended, have kept Jay-Z's name tied to Diddy's mess, increasing public and media scrutiny.
Man, I was going with where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also.
High-profile attorney Joe Tacopina, who represents Roc Nation, declined to defend Diddy, citing his close ties to Jay-Z and Roc Nation's leadership. Tacopina's comments on The Breakfast Club in February 2025 further stressed that Jay-Z and Diddy are not as close as the public might think, reinforcing the narrative of distance. Several factors likely explain Jay-Z's silence. First, there's the legal strategy and self-preservation angle. The lawsuits naming Jay-Z, though dismissed, probably made him wary of making public statements that could be twisted or used against him. His defamation lawsuit against Busby shows he's proactively protecting his reputation, which silence on Diddy's case complements. Then there's the need to protect his empire and brand. Jay-Z and Beyonce are global icons with a carefully cultivated image of integrity, family values, and philanthropy. Being associated with Diddy, who faces allegations of violence and sexual misconduct, could tarnish their brand. Sources close to the couple told Us Weekly that they were so upset about being named in lawsuits, showing how sensitive they are to this drama. Their business ventures, including Roc Nation, Tidal, and various endorsements, depend on public trust. Silence may reflect a calculated decision to avoid getting caught up in a scandal that could affect their marketability. Unlike other figures in Diddy's circle, like Usher or Justin Bieber, who face pressure to speak out due to their mentorship under Diddy, Jay-Z's relationship with him was more peer-to-peer. The public and media might not expect Jay-Z to weigh in, especially since he's already dealt with his own allegations and related lawsuits. Jay-Z's silence shouldn't be taken at face value as indifference or complicity. Hip-hop culture traditionally values loyalty, especially among peers who came up together. Jay-Z's public distancing, as articulated by his lawyer, may alienate some fans who see it as abandoning a friend. However, the severity of Diddy's charges, trafficking, racketeering, and allegations of violence may justify this stance, as supporting Diddy could imply endorsing or downplaying serious crimes. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber's career has been under the microscope since he blew up on YouTube at just 13. His rise to fame put him dead in the center of the spotlight, surrounded by industry vets eager to mentor the young Canadian talent. Among these so-called mentors was Sean Diddy Combs, who built a relationship with Bieber during his come-up years. Now, with Diddy facing serious legal heat, Bieber's notable silence and retreat from public life have got people speculating and concerned. Bieber and Diddy's relationship started when Justin was still a teenager, around 2009 to 2014. Their interactions were well documented, with several videos and interviews that have resurfaced since Diddy's legal troubles began. One of the most discussed clips is a 2009 video showing a 15-year-old Bieber with Diddy, who refers to him as his little brother and mentions spending 48 hours with him. In this footage, Diddy makes comments about having custody of Bieber and promising to go crazy, statements that many now find mad suspicious given the major age gap and power dynamic at play.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second.
During 2010 to 2011, Bieber and Diddy linked up professionally, with Diddy appearing in Bieber's music video for Somebody to Love, and the two performing together at events like the 2010 NBA All-Star Game. Videos from this era show Diddy encouraging Bieber to party and engage in adult activities, which has raised eyebrows about the appropriateness of their relationship. Perhaps most concerning is a resurfaced 2011 clip from Jimmy Kimmel Live that shows Diddy warning a 17-year-old Bieber to stay quiet about their time together together, saying, "He knows better than to be talking about the things he does with Big Brother Puff." This comment has fueled speculation about what experiences Bieber might have had with Diddy that needed to stay on the low. The closeness between Bieber and Diddy was facilitated by Bieber's then manager Scooter Braun and his mother, Patty Millette, who trusted Diddy and other industry figures like Usher with guiding the young star. However, critics have questioned the lack of parental supervision during some of these interactions, with commentators asking, where were his parents at? The allegations against Diddy have prompted a re-examination of Diddy's relationships with young artists, particularly Bieber, who was a minor during much of their association.
You see now you pressing Bieber.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? Like, I'm calling you and answering.
Yeah, that was a little.
That was weird.
That was crazy.
That was weird.
They did not run through Bieber at that
Still
point.
was pressing him like, why you not answering your phone? Like, yo.
Yeah. Like, I don't got a video of me fingering you.
He wasn't answering for a reason.
He was like, I don't ever
fingered last time.
Because you did things to me.
While Bieber hasn't been directly named in these lawsuits, his past proximity to Diddy has raised concerns about what he may have witnessed or experienced. Old videos, like one where a teenage Bieber looks uncomfortable when Diddy questions why he hasn't been hanging out as much, have gone viral, fueling speculation about coercion or inappropriate influence. The music industry's history of exploiting young talent has been highlighted, with Diddy's case drawing parallels to figures like producer Jamal Rashid, who worked with Bieber and was convicted of running a prostitution ring. This broader context has intensified scrutiny of Bieber's early career and the adults who surrounded him. Since Diddy's legal troubles began, Bieber hasn't said a word directly addressing the allegations or their past relationship. His silence is notable, especially given the public's demand for clarity and the resurfacing of concerning footage. Several factors may explain why he's keeping quiet. First and foremost, sources suggest Bieber is going through it emotionally. Insiders close to the singer have indicated he is hurting and struggling with the Diddy controversy, which has piled on top of other personal drama, including his beef with ex-manager Scooter Braun and all the gossip about his marriage to Hailey Bieber. In March 2025, Bieber posted some real talk on Instagram about feeling drowning, unequipped, and struggling with anger issues and self-doubt. These posts dropped right when media was going crazy about Diddy's upcoming trial, suggesting there might be a connection between his mental state and the whole scandal. A source told Radar Online that Bieber is not receptive to help from Hailey, showing how the trial is messing with his head. Fans have been worried about his gaunt appearance and erratic behavior, like smoking weed on Instagram Live and ghosting high-profile events like the Met Gala. There are also legal and PR considerations at play. Bieber's team is probably telling him to keep his mouth shut to avoid getting caught up in Diddy's legal mess. A source cited by US Weekly in October 2024 claimed Bieber is disgusted by the allegations and wants zero association with Diddy, suggesting he's deliberately trying to distance himself. His reps have dismissed rumors about his financial and mental health as clickbait stupidity, indicating they're trying to control the narrative without directly addressing the Diddy situation. Some commentators, including Daily Mail columnist Maureen Callahan, have speculated that Bieber's silence might be because of trauma related to his time with Diddy. Callahan points to the 2009 video and Bieber's quick rise to fame, suggesting he was exposed to inappropriate environments as a teenager. Bieber's strained relationship with his parents during parts of his career and his dependence on industry figures like Diddy and Braun may have left him vulnerable, a story that resonates with fans who see him as a victim of the industry's darker side. Fans and social media have been loud about Bieber's silence, with reactions ranging from genuine concern to wild conspiracy theories. Posts on X describe Bieber as talented but damaged by Diddy's influence, with users expressing shock after going down the rabbit hole of their past interactions. Some fans believe Bieber is keeping quiet because of fear or trauma. A May 2025 X post claimed Bieber agreed to testify against Diddy, but no credible sources back this up, and it looks like pure clickbait. Resurfaced clips have led to accusations that Diddy groomed or exploited Bieber, with fans pointing to Bieber's visible discomfort in old videos as evidence of a sketchy dynamic. While the public narrative suggests Bieber's silence is related to trauma or fear of exposure, several factors complicate this interpretation. There's no hard evidence linking Bieber to Diddy's alleged crimes, and speculation about his involvement or knowledge is mostly based on old footage and internet detective work. The viral videos, while sus, are open to interpretation and may not prove any wrongdoing. It's also important to remember Bieber's own agency. Now 31 and a father, Bieber has taken steps to cut off toxic relationships, including ending ties with Braun and others. His silence could be a mature decision to focus on his family and career rather than get dragged into a scandal. Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian and Sean Diddy Combs go way back, with a social and professional connection spanning nearly 2 decades. They've been spotted together at the most exclusive spots, Met Gala, fashion shows, and VIP parties, and their relationship gets even more complicated because of mutual connections, especially Kanye West, Kim's ex-husband, who's collaborated with Diddy musically and publicly had his back. Now that Diddy's caught up in serious legal drama, Kim's noticeable silence has people raising eyebrows and asking questions. The social ties between Kim and Diddy run deep. They've hit up countless events together, including Diddy's over-the-top 50th birthday bash in 2019, where Kim and Kanye were on the guest list alongside other A-listers. Kim has been photographed at Diddy's famous white parties and other exclusive gatherings, showing a level of familiarity that goes beyond just casual acquaintances. Their professional worlds have crossed in various ways. Kim's ex, Kanye West, has a well-documented history with Diddy, including tracks like the 2006 collab No. 1, and Diddy's role as a mentor in Kanye's early career. Kim herself has been connected to Diddy's business moves indirectly through fashion and media, like her appearances at events related to his Sean John brand. Family connections make this relationship even messier. Kim's former partner, Ray J, worked closely with Diddy, and Kim's mom, Kris Jenner, has been photographed with Diddy at various functions. Most importantly, Kim's kids, particularly North West, have been pulled into the situation because of Kanye's controversial decision to feature North on a song with Diddy, Lonely Roads Still Go to Sunshine, dropped in March 2025. Despite this history, Kim hasn't said a word publicly about Diddy's legal troubles or the allegations against him, which include serious charges of assault, trafficking, and organizing freak-off orgies as detailed in his federal indictment. This silence hits different considering Kim's massive presence on social media and her history of speaking out on personal and public controversies. Several factors likely explain why Kim's keeping it mute on the Diddy situation. First and foremost is her focus on protecting her kids. Reports indicate Kim was disgusted and horrified by Kanye's decision to put North on a track with Diddy, leading her to take legal action to block the song's release and shield North from involvement. Kim reportedly called an emergency custody meeting with Kanye in March 2025, partly to address North's feature on the Diddy track and Kanye's linking up with controversial figures like Andrew and Tristan Tate. This suggests her silence might be because she's prioritizing legal and family matters over public statements. Sources close to Kim told Page Six that her priority is the well-being and safety of her children, indicating she's avoiding public comments that could escalate tension with Kanye or drag her kids further into the drama. Kim's silence also fits with a calculated PR strategy often used by high-profile figures navigating scandals involving associates. Publicly distancing herself from Diddy without direct comments allows her to avoid legal entanglements or defamation claims while keeping her brand focused on positive ventures like Skims and her legal reform advocacy. Her team may be advising silence to avoid drawing attention to her past associations with Diddy, especially given how serious his charges are. A single X post from May 8, 2025 noted that Kim unfollowed Diddy on Instagram 24 hours before his home got raided in March 2024, suggesting she might have been quietly cutting ties even before his arrest. However, this claim isn't verified and could be speculation. Kim has dealt with her own high-profile controversies, including the 2016 Paris robbery and her divorce from Kanye, during which she often chose strategic silence to control the narrative. Her experience might inform her current approach, avoiding statements that could be misinterpreted or fuel speculation about her involvement with Diddy. For example, Kim has been vocal about criminal justice reform, but her advocacy has focused on cases like Alice Marie Johnson, not figures like Diddy, whose charges are tied to allegations of violence and trafficking, issues that could complicate her public image if she were to comment. Perhaps most significantly, Kanye's outspoken defense of Diddy, including dropping a song with him and North and claiming in March 2025 that Diddy was being unfairly targeted, stands in stark contrast to Kim's silence. Kanye's actions, including accusing Kim of restricting his parenting and labeling her a trafficker in X rants, have escalated their public beef. Kim's silence might be a deliberate move to avoid engaging with Kanye's wild claims, which could pull her into a messy public dispute or give credibility to his allegations. Reports suggest she's concerned about what Kanye might make public about her and her family if she pushes for full custody or speaks out. Unlike Kanye, who has actively inserted himself into Diddy's narrative, Kim has no direct professional or legal connections to Diddy's current case. Her relationship is primarily social and historical, which might not warrant a public statement. The absence of her name in Diddy's trial documents or related lawsuits further reduces the pressure for her to comment. Media outlets like the Daily Mail and Yahoo have highlighted Kim's distress over North's involvement in the Diddy song, but note her silence on Diddy himself. This focus suggests the media is more interested in her reaction to Kanye's actions than in pressing her for a statement on Diddy. Other figures mentioned in Diddy's trial, like Kanye West and Dawn Richard, have either spoken out or been indirectly referenced. Kim's silence aligns with celebrities like Kris Jenner, who have also avoided commenting, possibly to avoid association with the case. As Diddy's trial moves forward, with jury selection having started on May 5th, 2025, and opening arguments set for May 12th, Kim may be waiting until the trial wraps up to avoid influencing public perception or appearing to take sides. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to watch another fascinating video like this, click on one of the boxes on your screen right now.